while I transfer your call.
Good morning, this is Daniel with Dealer Car Search. How can I help you?
Hey Daniel, so this is probably not a call you get very often. I know you guys are hiring, but when I went to apply to it, I couldn't do it. But I really like what you guys are doing, so I tried to figure out a different way to contact you. Basically, I'm just asking, is there anyone I can email directly since the apply now on Indeed for this company doesn't work? Or it's not working for me, it just says...
Which position are you applying for?
It'd be the front-end web developer.
And you're trying from Indeed?
Yeah, I click apply now, and then I click submit, and it's not working.
I'm not sure who gets the emails directly. Go to dealercarsearch.com and to the careers page.
I think I tried this, and it gave me a 401.
That's why we need somebody to fix it. Let me see. So I've got your phone number is 5.
Okay, so basically he just caller ID'd the shit out of me. But let's see if this works. He just texted me because I hung up in the middle of the call, and he said, "Here's the guy you can email." That work? There you go. You can see it there. That's how you do it. That's how you get a job, chat. You just call them up. So today we're looking at college versus self-taught versus bootcamp, and which one is for you. If you don't know who I am, I've actually done all three. An engineering degree, mechanical engineering degree. It's actually right here. I got it in Finland, right here. So everyone thinks that this little paper will change your life. I don't even use it. I've actually done a code bootcamp, a 3-month code bootcamp years ago, and I've tried the self-taught route. So I thought we would look at the pros and cons of college first, and then we'll do the same for each one. And I'll kind of give you a recap at the end. I don't know how you guys feel about this Wacom tablet thing. Make it a little more interactive and give you some bullet points to look at rather than just talking about it. The pros of college, right? For government agencies in the United States, they require U.S. degrees because they're accredited by places that the government uses. Kind of a pro. Difficult HR. There are HR places out there that refuse to even look at you unless you have that degree. And if you watch my last video, do whatever you can to get past HR. Actually, we were doing a live stream earlier today where I show you how to get around HR just by calling in, and I actually got the email address of whoever I needed to email directly, and I get to skip the line, and I don't have to wait. I don't have to wait for people to look at my application or check their email. I go to them. So a degree can help you for those organizations that check that box, but you can get around that box. Networking for friends. So if you want to have a good social life and you want to go to college and make a bunch of friends and do that dorm life and do that party life, great. Network for friends, but networking for jobs at college isn't really working. It doesn't really work. They have career fairs, but hey, you and everyone else at college are looking at the same jobs at the career fair. One job at the career fair, 9,000 students looking for that one job. Usually you go to college to make friends and party and, that sorts of stuff. One of the primary things about having a degree here is that for jobs like machine learning, data science, they can be math heavy. And now it's not required, but it can be math heavy when you're doing those things. And then there are certain companies that have this good old boys type culture where it's just like it's not what you know, it's who you blow, kind of move up, and they like, well, I went to Princeton University, and the other guy's like, well, I went to actually Georgia Tech. And they just like lean on their school because the school is prestigious because it's hard. Well, I'm a Harvard graduate. Like, those types of people, like they just have the paper and they lean on their school because they're like known for being good or really difficult or something. Whatever. Some companies care about that. I personally wouldn't want to work for any of those companies. Cons of college, the price. Are you willing to go in debt? This can happen with code boot camps too. I know that, but let's talk about it here. Time sink. It's 4 years long. At college, you get unrelated, industry-related information. What you do at college is not what you do at work. College is a giant litmus test to prove that you can commit to something for 4 years, and then you have to learn whatever they want you to learn at the job anyways. Colleges are trying to improve this, but overall, like in my mechanical engineering degree, fitness walking, intro to psychology. In Finland, it's actually pretty strict. They don't actually make you take that many BS classes. Oh, I took art history too. You should have seen the dude's face in Finland when I was like, yeah, can I transfer my art history class? He's like, why did you take art history, dude? There's also no guarantee. They have alumni services, which is essentially the same as a code bootcamp without a guarantee. You're pretty much just a customer. This is customer service. They can call it whatever you want. They got your money already. You got the receipt. This right here is the receipt. Student loans are the only loans not cleared by bankruptcy. You could have $10 million of like real estate debt, file bankruptcy, and they're like, okay, fine. Student loans stay. You can work a government job for like 10 years and they have some forgiveness programs, but you got to work a government job for 10 years. How exciting is that? Okay, so now let's look at self-taught. Let's look at the pros first here. It's go at your own pace. You can go as fast as you want. You can go as slow as you want, which is awesome. There's, get a course, just kind of complete the course as you go. No one's really kind of behind you holding you accountable either, though. You can do all the free stuff or you can do the paid stuff, but there's just unlimited resources, so it's really up to you what you want to pay. And it gives you an opportunity to really test what you like. So if you're trying out web dev and you don't like web dev, hey, well, go try Python yourself, and you're not already enrolled into something, doing something, stuck doing that thing. So let's look at the cons of being self-taught here. Absolutely no guarantee, totally up to you, your ability to push through things when you get stuck. Really easy to get demotivated. It's really easy to get stuck, not know what to do or not know how to interpret Stack Overflow answers. Lack of an inherent network. So if you're self-taught, if you're coming home every day after work, working 40 hours a week, you're coming in, try to put 2-3 hours at night after you've been with the family and the kids and stuff, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of time to network, number one, and then you're not going to really know where to go. If you go to Stack Overflow and ask for help, they're just going to give you a big middle finger. So having a network is kind of a huge part of this. Unless you have some like coder friends that are helping you through this, chances are your network is going to be pretty slim. This can be remedied though, right? You can join some online forums. You can join my Discord. I try to keep it like a non-elitist Stack Overflow. As soon as you start like, I'm better than you and no, do this and that, like I boot you. Got 9,200 people in there now. A lot of cool people. I'm in there. You can message me if you want to talk to me in real time. And a lot of good people in there. Patrick from Lambda School got his job from a guy in Discord. His name is Kyle. Other people have gotten jobs from my Discord, so it's a pretty good place to be. So it's kind of a con, but it can be remedied. All right, so next we're gonna look at boot camps here. I went to boot camp. I don't really want to tell you what the name of the boot camp was, because I don't want you to go there. I don't really think that they deserve free traffic from my channel, for being honest. They have no guarantee, they have no reimbursement or ISA agreement. It's only 3 months long, has no CS degree knowledge. They've been bought out twice, once by Capella University, which is for-profit, and then again by Strayer University, which is also for-profit. I mean, if you want to know what it was, it starts with Dev and it ends with Mountain. Don't go there. You know what I'm gonna say. Just go to Lambda School, okay? Like, don't even use my link. If you think it's about the money, don't even go to Lambda School. This is not an ad for Lambda School, none of that. But if I had to go back and do it now, that's what I would do. And if you think it's sponsored, hey, don't click the link. But if you don't click the link, you don't get $250. If you disagree and you want to go somewhere else, hey, more power to you. Lots of people go other places. So if we look at the pros first, one of the greatest things about Code Bootcamp is that you have a network of other struggling students. And this kind of maybe sounds bad, but when you look over and you see other people, well, if you're in person, if you look over and you see other people struggling, or you message people and they're like, dude, I don't get this. And you're like, hey bro, I don't get this either. It's a lot easier to kind of like power through it together versus when you're just alone and you think that it's just not for you and like there's no way I can get this and like I just don't understand. It's okay, dude. Everyone feels like it's not for them. Well, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people would feel like it's not for them when they first start. This is really difficult for all of us. Another pro is you have teachers to lean on. So you have Stack Overflow. They're going to tell you to go do the research yourself and try to look up the answer before asking the questions. But if you still can't find the answer, or it's something specific to the school or the task or the assignment, you got teachers, you got mentors, you got project managers. You can lean on them and be like, hey, can you come here? Can we hop on a call? Can you look at my screen here? Can you tell me what I'm doing? So another pro here is that you have a network of students after they get the jobs. The students graduate from the boot camp, they go and they get the job, and they're more apt to reach out back to their fellow friends and fellow students that they went with to try and help them pull you into a job. If you're self-taught, you don't know anybody to come kind of pull you in unless you go to a meetup. But if you go to a meetup looking for a job, you and everyone else usually at these meetups are looking for a job, and there's like 3 people there that actually have jobs, probably the dude presenting, and maybe like 3 other people that are like senior devs. Kind of like those seagulls from Finding Nemo. Everyone's like, job. Another pro to a boot camp is that you have a sunk cost to this. Like, you have put in money or you put something on the line to be able to do this, but that's also known as a sunk cost fallacy. Just because you've put so much time and effort and money into something doesn't necessarily mean that you should do it. You buy a bunch of Udemy courses, and I've talked about this before, you spend the money so that you feel obligated like you have to do it, and then you don't do it anyways, and you just self-sabotage yourself. So pro is you have reimbursements and you have guarantees and you have like no payment until you get a job. Some boot camps offer this, some don't. The ones that don't offer this today, don't go. I'm looking at you, Dev Mountain, I'm looking at you, Trilogy, and there's probably some other ones out there. If it doesn't have any sort of reimbursement or guarantee, please don't go. There's really no reason not to. Yes, it depends on how hard you hustle. But you're doing yourself a disservice if other people are offering a guarantee or reimbursement of some sort and you specifically choose not to go. I'm not sure why. Pricing's pretty competitive in between. We're gonna assume that if you choose one, you're gonna choose one that has a guarantee here, whether that's Lambda or Helio or vSchool or Block.io or Thinkful. Like, I know more than just Lambda, okay? Give me a break here. There's kind of like peer pressure there, and you're held accountable. They take role. Like, you have to be there at the beginning, you have to be there at the end. If you're not there, bye. Can't do this because you're not here, and we know that you need to be here for this time to be able to learn this thing, or you need to be here with other people, or you're going to get left behind. And so there's accountability at boot camps. Did you finish that project today? It was due today. Mentor wants to look over it. Can I look over it? Can I see what you're doing? Like, what happens if someone is doing work on their project and they message you, hey, can I see yours? And you haven't done anything. You're gonna feel that pressure. And then another thing that you get at boot camps are kind of like a path. You get to build projects. So at the end, you're gonna have a bunch of projects that you can show employers. Your portfolio is everything. So let's look at the cons. The price of boot camp. Yep, it's kind of like college. Do you want to go in debt? Do you have the money to pay up front? It's still cheaper than college. Another thing is schedule. What if you can't fit the full-time schedule? What if you work nights and you can't go to the part-time schedule? This has happened to a few people in the Discord. They wanted to go to this boot camp, but they couldn't go to this boot camp because of the schedule and living during that length of time. So I put these two together. These two are their own, but length of time and living while you do it. So Lambda School is 9 months. One of the things that gets a lot of people there is like, how do you live for 9 months? If you take the ISA, yeah, you don't pay, but it's still full time, so you're expected to be there during the times when you would normally work a job. So a lot of people, I guess, move in with their parents, or have some money saved in their savings, or they have some side income coming in. But living for the length of time during the boot camp can be intense. You still got to pay your rent, still got to do this, but you're not having any income in. So what do I think is best? What do I think you should do? And everyone's like, this dude's just gonna say Lambda School. He's sponsored by Lambda School this whole video. You're wrong, actually. I'm not going to say go to boot camp. I'm going to say be self-taught. Reason number one, you should see if coding is for you. Don't spend that sort of investment to see if coding is for you and then be like, well, I hate this. This is terrible. See if you can deal with getting stuck a lot. You're going to have to be okay with feeling like Forrest Gump, like, I am not a smart man. It will make you question your life decisions, and see if you can deal with the isolation. There's gonna be a lot of time where you're just working alone. I mean, yeah, you can hop on and pair coding exists, but there is a lot of time where you're working alone. You'll be with coworkers, but you're gonna be having headphones on a lot just listening to Spotify. And I've seen some videos where people finished the boot camp, they got a job, and then they realized they were just sitting kind of alone all day, just solving problems in their zone. They hop on a call for 20 minutes, but it was too lonely for them, and they couldn't deal with that. You need to be getting into this for the right reasons. You don't want to watch these like $7 to $70K videos and get excited because of the money. Don't do it for the money. I see a lot of people getting into it for the money. You can try to buy your happiness. You can try to buy material items and possessions, but a majority of the time, you're going to be working, not using the material items that you tried to buy off your happiness with. So you buy a new Tesla because you're making all this extra money, but you're only driving your Tesla to and from work 5 days a week, and let's say you got like a 20-minute commute. Is that really worth the trade-off? There's going to be some great 20 minutes, maybe, or you can get stuck in traffic and have a bad day like everyone else and forget about the material thing that you just bought to try to buy your happiness anyways. See what kind of code you like. What if you like coding but you're not sure what type? What if you want to do web dev? What if you want to do hardware? Like somebody had to program this. Somebody had to make the software to program this tablet so that it's pressure sensitive and that it reads onto the computer. Someone had to code that. Maybe we won't want to do web dev. We want to do game dev or something. Figure out what kind of code do you enjoy. Figure out your niche. It's entirely possible to do this self-taught. I've got a lot of videos with people where you can see that they've done it self-taught. It's the hardest route, but it's the most rewarding route. There are people out there that have that discipline to do it. There are plenty of people that can push through. They don't have the funds for boot camp. They don't have the schedule for boot camp. They're working full time. College isn't an option. They can't get financial aid. It's the hardest option, but again, it is the most rewarding. So I think everyone should try that. You should try it, and if you can't do it, maybe consider boot camp. The reality here is that most people try this and usually they just end up giving up, or they do what I did, which is like I would study a Udemy course and I would like follow along. I would be like making the course, doing exactly what they're doing, and then we get to the end project. I had no idea why it worked, and then I'd play games for like 5 hours, and 2 days later I would come back and then I would forget everything that I did. It's normal to not remember everything that you did, but like when you start getting to the point where you're like, what is a function again, and you start like forgetting those like core concepts when you're just self-studying a few hours a day, nah, you're not doing it right. You don't really got that discipline. Some people just think it's not for them, and maybe they give up on an entire life-changing experience because they didn't have someone to lean on to be like, you can do this, man, just keep going, just one more day. Or they couldn't find a teacher they could lean on for advice, or they could have been one tiny syntax change away from making their entire code application work, and all they would have needed to do that would be a second set of eyes. Then again, a lot of people find out that they're not actually interested in this, and they don't like sitting alone, or they just get bored by it and they want that social interaction. They don't find staring at a computer to be that fun. But the choice is yours. I don't think that you should look at a review or, look at some life-changing numbers of like 0 to hero. It's a super cool story. People love the hero story. I get that. But don't look at that and purely make your decision on that. Take it from me. I wanted to do this because I wanted to work remote. That's not a great reason, but my attitude was like, code seems like it'd be chill. I built computers, like I gamed a lot, like I somehow didn't learn code. Hey, it'd probably be chill. Make $95K a year from my couch working remote. Sounds like a dream. It was a lot more than that. It was a lot more work. It's not physical work. You're not outside doing construction work, doing that hard labor. Your lower back might not. You're not on your feet all day is what I'm saying, right? Like there's reverse problems from sitting down and being sedentary all day too, as well as a dev. But it's not that, typical physical labor where you just come home and you're like, I don't get paid enough to do this shit. Thing that you got to trade off is that your brain's gonna hurt. Your self-confidence specifically is gonna hurt. It's a mental thing. You have to be okay with being stuck for a while and sometimes alone and stuck. I question my ability to do this every day. I question my ability to code my own website. Can I make this a thing? Question my ability with my editing skills, audio skills, lighting skills. I question my ability with like all of this kind of stuff that I do every day. A lot of jobs kind of give you a script to follow. And in this industry, in this programming, software engineering, problem solving industry, you do not get a script. No one's going to tell you how to solve this problem. They might give you like a direction. You can think about like having a compass. You have a generalized direction of where you should go, but there's no script. Like if you're working a regular job that says, if X happens, do Y. If Y happens, do Z. That's not told to you. Not really. There's best practices and stuff, but there is no script. You kind of make your script in this industry as you go. And as you write more scripts, pun intended, I guess, code scripts, you get familiar. Like, oh, I think I've done this before. Oh, yeah, okay, I kind of remember how to do this. You got to put in your time to get to that level. So in summary, I think that you should be self-taught. You should try to be self-taught if you can. Give it some time, get stuck a few times, push past it. If you think you can handle it alone, keep going. If you need that support, if you feel like you need that kind of push from other people, do a boot camp. If you plan on working at companies that value like security clearance and that value a college name, if that matters to you, if those companies that you really want to work with, if that matters, or you want to have like a great social young experience and party the best years of your life. College has its place depending on how much you care and how much you think that the place you're going to work at cares. So self-taught, if you can't keep going, do a boot camp, and if you really, really care and think that degree matters to you, do a computer science degree. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider leaving a thumbs up, maybe click subscribe. Welcome to all the new viewers, and if you'd like to support the channel, I have a resume and cover letter that I use to get all my jobs. Link for that is down in the description. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the live stream.